Hello, my name is Mary Ann Munt. I am one of the assistant principals at Winkler. I will be sharing information with you about how to support your student through these next 3 years. I will also have information concerning our PBIS program, dress code, transportation, and the cafeteria. One of the biggest things that we notice in terms of change in our middle school students is due to the fact that their brain is growing and developing. Between the ages of 10 and 15, this is the second largest brain growth in their lifetimes. The brain develops from the back to the front, and the frontal lobe area is the last to develop. The frontal lobe is responsible for decision making. This is why sometimes students make decisions that are risky or they haven't really correctly thought through, perhaps. During this time, the middle school brain can only hold about 5 bits of information at a time. This is why sometimes when we give them a list of tasks to perform, such as go upstairs, make your bed, put on your shoes, feed the dog, help your sister, etc., sometimes everything doesn't get completed. It really is because the student forgot. In situations like this, we would encourage students to be given smaller amounts of information at one time so that they can remember what to do. You could also have students write down tasks and check them off as they are completed. During this time of brain growth, we also see that sometimes the intellectual side and the emotional side are developing at different rates. This is why sometimes we see students who may be very smart, but perhaps immature. And some students are maybe more mature than others. This is a major reason why students sometimes misread or misinterpret others. Some students may feel like he or she doesn't like me, or he or she is looking at me. During middle school, this is also a time when they are trying to figure out who they are. Middle school students want to belong and to be accepted by their peers. You as parents may suddenly see that name brands are more important. They also may no longer want to have lunch with their parents because this may no longer be seen as fun or cool. Snitching also becomes an issue where they don't want to tattle on their peers. But this also means that oftentimes we don't know when something is going wrong. Again, going back to the brain growth and development, this is a time when sometimes students make poor choices, and you as parents may see new behaviors that you've never seen before. During this age, sometimes students think, well, it won't happen to me, or I won't get caught, or they don't have any fear of getting hurt. Oftentimes, students will say information through a text that they would never say in person to a person. As a parent, we encourage you to monitor their screen time and phone activity. A lot of phone companies allow parents to see all texts. We also encourage you to monitor their computer time in addition to text messaging. Have regular downtimes, especially where they can reconnect with close family and friends. Have family dinners. Go for a walk. Play a game. Stay connected with your teenager. We also encourage you to perhaps try collecting the phones at bedtime and have them charge in your room. This will ensure that your student gets enough sleep. get to know their friends. Oftentimes, friends online, some students have never even met. Be aware of fake accounts such as Finsta. There are also a variety of apps that can help you help with your team. When our daughters were going through middle school, we used several of these apps and other things such as bringing the phone into our bedroom at night to help. We communicated all of this with our daughters when we put these plans into place. Life 360 is an excellent app that can be used, especially when your child starts driving. This allows you to know where they are, for example, how fast they're driving, and if they are using the phone while driving. At Winkler Middle School, we have the PBIS program. Many of you had the same program at your elementary schools. PBIS stands for Positive Behaviors, Interventions, and Supports. Your teachers will be giving you what are called Round of Applause tickets. These tickets can be given and earned by doing the right thing. These tickets can then be used to buy items at the PBIS cart. The PBIS cart is held in the atrium every other week during lunch. Students can receive what are called MIRs or ODRs. I'm going to first talk about the MIRs. MIRs are minor infractions. Students are allowed up to 5 MIRs per quarter to remain in the PBIS quarterly incentive. Again, MIRs are minor infractions. An example of an MIR may be the student has been asked multiple times to stop a particular behavior. Then after so many warnings, the teacher writes an MIR. The teacher will contact the parent via email or phone call. The school will also send the parent an automated message stating that the student received an MIR. Teachers find that email is sometimes the quickest and best way to inform parents of MIRs. Through PBIS, we also teach students to be self-advocates, meaning that we want them to speak up and question and ask and advocate for themselves concerning grades and behaviors. Each quarter, the PBIS committee hosts a quarterly incentive. This is a time where students are given extra time to socialize, play games, have fun, music, food, and it's just a time to hang out. And it is a way that we as staff and teachers can say, thank you for a job well done. Students are eligible for the quarterly incentives if they have less than 6 MIRs, have no more than 3 missing assignments, have no ODRs or office referrals or bus referrals that result in a consequence. They have less than 5 tardies per quarter and have all of their library books turned in to the library. Again, an ODR is an office referral, which is for more of our substantial behaviors, which don't occur that often. Other information concerning middle school. We do allow students to have cell phones because we understand the importance of you being able to reach your child before and after school. Our policy states that cell phones must be off and put away during the school day. Another resource that's very powerful for middle school students and parents is PowerSchool. PowerSchool can be accessed at any time to see grades and attendance. You can check to see when an assignment has been turned in and when grades are updated. At Winkler, we do not print report cards or send progress reports or report cards home. So PowerSchool will be your source of information in terms of how your student is doing. There is a free app for your phone that you can use for PowerSchool. You will need a code for that, which is included on our screen. The code is HXBT, which is directly for the Cabarrus County School PowerSchool app, since PowerSchool is a product that is used statewide. PowerSchool will follow your child until they graduate high school. So I do encourage you to put the app on your phone and stay connected with your child. You can also link all of your children to this one app. If you have questions concerning how to access PowerSchool, you can call the school and we will help you with this process. We also ask that all sixth graders have a non-rolling book bag. In terms of dress code, the main purpose of dress code and the dress code policy at middle school is that clothing should not be a distraction to the learning environment. Just as an FYI, students are required to change clothes for PE. Students must also have rubber bottom shoes, such as tennis shoes or athletic shoes, during PE. Sixth graders have all of their encore classes, which includes health and PE, at the end of the day. Therefore, some students will wear their PE clothes to school in order to avoid having to change clothes in the locker room before class. In terms of dress code, students are not allowed to wear clothing that has any advertisement about drugs, tobacco products, alcohol, violence, or gang affiliation. It also cannot be sexually suggestive or have any slogan that is not in good taste or is offensive to a group of people. Anything that disrupts the learning environment is out of dress code. We do allow students to have holes in jeans as long as the holes are not above the mid-thigh. Skin should not be shown above the mid-thigh area. So if the jeans are frayed with strings, that is okay, as long as there's no skin showing, then you are in dress code. At the middle school, we do allow students to wear flip-flops. We understand that at most elementary schools, they were not allowed to wear flip-flops due to playing outside at recess. But in middle school, flip-flops are allowed. Pajamas are not allowed. The supply list for sixth grade is located on the Winkler Middle School homepage. There is a sixth grade homepage through the Winkler Middle School site. In the cafeteria, students will have more choices. We now have 3 lines. There is a regular line, which is where most typical students get food. This is where you have an entree, a fruit, veggie, and milk. One of our second lines, which is very popular, is called the Quick Bites line. This is where they can get an item such as pizza, a hamburger, a chicken sandwich, fries, and a fruit. Our third line is referred to as the bar of the day. These rotate between items such as a taco bar, a sub bar, or a burger bar. We do sell additional items in the cafeteria such as chips, cookies, and dipping dots. Parents, just an FYI to you, the cafeteria does not limit the amount of food that a student purchases. For example, if a student wants to purchase 2 or 3 meals, they can. If a student wants to purchase 4 chocolate chip cookies, they are allowed to do so as long as money is on their account. Students are allowed to charge a maximum amount of $8. Once a student reaches the $8 amount, they are given an alternative meal. We do have lunch prepay, which allows you to put money on their account over the computer. This is a wonderful resource for families. Also, as a reminder, parents and students must reapply every year for free and reduced lunch due to the fact that circumstances change over time. The free and reduced lunch application can be found on the main Cabarrus County Schools website. In terms of transportation request forms are available on the Winkler Middle School homepage. It's located near the middle of the page, and you should find a yellow school bus. The form is embedded in the purple text of fill out the bus transportation form here. You will click on that and fill in your information. If you have already completed a bus transportation form at your elementary school, you do not need to complete one at our site. The final day to guarantee bus transportation for the fall is July 24th. If you submit a form after July 24th, it can take up to 3 weeks in order to get a bus route. If you are moving over the summer, please contact us. You will need to bring 2 sources of information, such as a driver's license, motor vehicle registration, bank statement, or power bill, and also a deed, lease, or property tax statement showing that the property is within our boundaries. You can call the school at 704-260-6450 and we can share this process with you. Again, this is only if you are moving. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation. If you have any questions whatsoever, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. My email address is mary.munt, that is M-U-N, D as in David, T as in Tom, @cabarrus.k12.nc.us. We look forward to working with your student. Good night.